What is going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to talk about the worst things about living in South Florida during the summer. Now, don't get it wrong, South Florida summers are amazing. You're not going to have any shortage of things to do, but just like anything else, there are some drawbacks to the summer. Yes, some of them are cookie cutter, but there's some other ones you might not have thought about. So these are the top 5 things that are probably the worst about the South Florida summers. And if you can get over these top 5, the summer is going to be a breeze. Before we jump into it, if you want to know more about living, eating, sleeping, playing in South Florida and Florida in general, please hit the like and subscribe button. We get calls, texts, emails, DMs every single day about people looking to move to South Florida and Florida in general, and we love it. Whether you're looking to move tomorrow, next week, next month, or even in a couple years, please reach out to us. You can call us, shoot me a text, give us a DM, email, whatever's easiest for you, we got you. So now let's jump right into it. So number 5, we have the heat. Yes, I know it's kind of like cookie cutter, like obviously it gets hot as the summer, it gets hot everywhere. But this South Florida heat is different. Like I'm telling you, it is hot, like freaking hot. Yes, Orlando is by far the hottest place in this entire state. That is a different kind of heat, but they don't get a breeze. So in South Florida, we do get a breeze, which helps alleviate it a little bit. But your average temperatures in June, July, and August are 90, 91, right around there. But it does feel like it's in the hundreds, and it does get hot. Like especially if you're out west, like close to the Everglades, like you're still gonna get a breeze like that of like East South Florida, like east of 95, east of the Turnpike. But it's still hot, and it's gonna feel like it's in the hundreds, like I said. So definitely gotta keep that AC running. If you have AC seats in your car, you're blessed because that's a game changer. Another thing about the car, please don't leave anything in it that you think is either gonna melt, get ruined, or even like a dog or a kid. Like if that car is off, everything's out of it because it gets hot. And I'm telling you, you don't want to deal with it. But on the flip side, it's not that bad. It's definitely something we can overcome. I mean, we have the beach right there to cool off. Everyone and their mom has a pool. Plus, we have plenty of water parks. So there's always something to do to go and cool off. Plus, there's plenty of indoor activities as well. But you just have to be aware it is going to be hot. It is the summer, but it's hot everywhere. All right, and number 4, we have the traffic. And yes, the traffic sucks all year round for the most part, but in the summer, and like you gotta think about the busy seasons. And it's not everywhere in South Florida that traffic's gonna suck. The traffic's really gonna suck near like all the touristy type stuff. So think about it, people are coming to Florida to visit, they're going to the beach. So everything out east, the traffic's gonna be a lot more. Everything's gonna be a little bit more busy. I mean, this is the busy season, and then we have the winter season where the snowbirds and stuff come down. But the traffic in the summer is a lot worse. A lot of people coming in to both Fort Lauderdale and Miami. So just be aware of that. Try to plan an extra 15, 20 minutes for work, whatever you're doing. Just be aware of where you're going and where the traffic's gonna be. Because I'm telling you, every single beach is gonna be packed. You gotta get there early to park. You get there at noon, good luck getting the parking spot. You're gonna have to walk 4 or 5 blocks, or you're gonna have to take an Uber. Get there early, get a parking spot. I mean, one thing I've seen people do, I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but they get there early, get a parking spot, then go back home because they're not going to the beach yet. But they got a parking spot and then they Uber. It makes no sense, but I've seen people do it. On top of that, you just have to be aware that everywhere you're going to go to eat as well is going to be packed because there's all this traffic, there's all these extra people. So just kind of plan accordingly. You can't just roll in somewhere on a Friday night, 8 o'clock, expect to sit down with a group of 6. You're going to wait about an hour, hour and a half. So just a heads up. Other than that, though, the traffic's not too bad. Just try to avoid like A1A and 95 during rush hour. It's easy to get around, but just be aware there are going to be more people. It is the summer. Number 3 is the bugs. Like people make it seem like Florida's like Jurassic Park and we have all these exotic animals and alligators running around. Like there's bugs everywhere. We're technically still the South. I wouldn't call us like the true deep South. Like those bugs are different in like the Alabama, Georgia area. But we have a lot of mosquitoes. You gotta think about it. There's a lot of sitting water. The Everglades are right there, so there's a lot of mosquitoes and gnats, and they're honestly not that bad, especially if you have bug spray and things like that, but you just have to be prepared. I don't think the candle thing works. I'm just putting that out there. I've never seen it work. The bug spray does work, but then you're covered in it. But that's why everyone has a screened-in like patio or a screened-in pool. It makes it so much easier. There's no bugs. If you're living on the intercoastal, there's really not a whole lot of bugs for the most part. I mean, the mosquitoes and things are there, but they have different ways to kind of keep them out with different companies that come in and spray as well. So just be aware of it. They're bugs, but it's not, I'm telling you, the Deep South is much worse in terms of bugs. When I went to school in Alabama, the bugs there, way worse than are down here in South Florida. Number 2 is the rain. So it's going to rain every single day. You can almost guarantee it. And pretty much right around the same time too. It's crazy. So about 3:30, 4 o'clock, it's going to rain. I remember plenty of football practices when you're sitting out there and you're like, damn, I really don't want to go do conditioning today. And then it starts raining and you're kind of happy, and the next thing you know, it goes away because it rains for all of like maybe 10, 15 minutes, absolute downpour monsoon. You're like, oh man, there's no way this is going away. Next thing you know, all of it is gone, completely sunny. So just be aware of that. Like, it's not gonna ruin your day by any means. Yes, we do have some days where the thunderstorms do last a little bit longer, or they're maybe the entire day. But for the most part, we just have a lot of showers, and then the rest of the day is fine. So just kind of plan accordingly. Like, you don't have to completely leave the beach. Obviously, you want to get off the beach if it's pouring, but you can go right back out there after, and no one's going to be there. So you kind of have it as a private beach. I mean, most of the locals will be there, but all the tourists are going to be gone. So just keep that in mind. But the rain definitely does not help with number one. And number one is the worst thing about the summers in South Florida. And the number one worst thing about the summers in South Florida is the humidity. So like I said before, so it rains for all of maybe 10, 15 minutes, absolute downpour. Now it's gone, the sun's out, and it is humid. Oh my God. It's like walking into a wall of water. And it's not even just after it rains. It's like constantly just humid out. So imagine taking the dog out at midnight. It's pitch black, there is no sun. It's not that hot. It says it's like 80, 85, but you walk out and you're just dripping in sweat because it's that humid. And it's pretty much like that everywhere in the state of Florida. I mean, not just South Florida, but South Florida humidity just hits different, I feel like. I remember plenty of practices, you're out there in full pads, you just walked outside and you're already just soaking wet. So please be sure if you're practicing, you're playing a summer sport, you're just doing anything outside, definitely drink a ton of water, because number one, it's gonna help you, and number two, you're gonna feel a lot better, because that sun drains you when you're out there, especially with that humidity, you're just hitting that wall of water. But overall, those 5 things, I mean, you can overcome those. I mean, this summer's gonna be a breeze. You're gonna have plenty of fun. There's plenty of things to do. It's not the worst things in the world by any means. It's just something to be aware of at the same time. So those are the top 5 worst things about the South Florida summers. So if you or anyone you know are looking to move to South Florida, you already live in South Florida and you have some questions, my number is down below. You can shoot me a text, call, email me, DM me, whatever you need, I got you. We're looking to make it as easy as possible for you in the South Florida and Florida in general.